Top games of 2024. Played a lot of games last year, over 40 of them. Here's a brief look at some of the best stuff that I played. Keep in mind that these games are what I played last year, not necessarily the games that came out that year. Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom. I played quite a few platformers this year, and what stands out about this one is how good it feels to control the silly little taxi that is yellow and goes vroom. Boosting off slopes to get big jumps is very fun, and the levels are built to really let you learn the nuance of the controls. I love the bizarre turn in the art direction, with skyboxes being filled with giant stuff relating to the level. It makes the game feel like a crazy dream. You help Mario kill Elon Musk and destroy Tesla, what more could you want? Crash Bandicoot Trilogy. I played the original 3 Crash Bandicoot games on their original hardware, the PC, and I gotta say, these games are pretty fascinating. This was around the beginning of the 3D platformer genre, and where other companies looked into the aspect of exploration with big worlds that act like playgrounds, Crash tests itself on making the fundamentals of a 2D platformer and converting that into a 3D game. Instead of going right, you go up. Hell, sometimes you go down, which was not the best idea with a fixed camera, but it is shocking to me how well these games work to this day. It's all about precision in your jumps, and Crash's jump feels so smooth. You have so much control over the exact height you want, and your movement is really good as well. I love that spinning into enemies makes them fly away, or the goofy ways Crash could die in this game. It has a lot of charm and detail like it was a cartoon. The focus on collectibles is very smart. You feel that desire very strongly when you beat the level and get hit with the, yeah but you missed 22 boxes, bitch, go again. It really makes you feel like you gotta step up to the challenge and break every box you see. Every game gets more and more upgrades to your move list and add more depth to the level designs and even new characters to play. The variety in the levels is exceptional. Donkey Kong Country 2. This game can be a real motherfucker sometimes. Just a lot of unreactable nonsense to bully you for trying to keep a momentum going. But it's worth it to see the most engaging levels I've seen in a 2D platformer. So many ideas pushed with the little resources they have. It astounds me that nothing in this game feels repetitive. And while it can be difficult to play at times, it means you get to look at the beautiful work put into the visuals more, and you get to listen to some of the best music from this generation. Hell, the music in this game is timeless. Catch me blasting Stiggerbush Symphony every day while I catch you blasting into the same 4 barrels over and over again because you don't know what you're doing. Shadows of the Erdtree. I mean, Shadows of the Erdtree is a much better structured game than Elden Ring is. A much more condensed map, it still has a wild amount of exploration. The rewards are much better too. Cool weapons, full armor sets that look gorgeous on you, secret areas. There are whole parts of the map that are hidden away in dungeons, it's crazy. When I found the Ash Forest, I was blown away from just stumbling into it, and the change of turn kept me hooked all the way to what was probably my favorite boss fight in the game. The storytelling is much better in this DLC too, as you have a lot more characters to engage with the relevant plot, more so than just whatever they were doing on their own, and it concludes with an amazing spectacle. My only problems with it is the fact that it's a DLC and I can't just start on a new profile, and that fuck-ass boar band with a charge attack they use the top of the Twin Towers. Who thought that spawning him 3 feet from spawn when I need to summon my guys is a good idea? Fuck you. Slay the Princess. Very fun and engaging concept for a visual novel with a cool premise. I can see this being done with something simpler, but to make it such a complicated story with a lot of character was a risk that paid off well. Brilliantly written, with fantastic art that makes more sense the more you know. The voice acting is the biggest carry there. With only 2 voice actors in the game, the range on them both is phenomenal to provide so many different personalities and feelings. The princess is amazing, but I want to give a shout out to the voice of the narrator, because I could tell through every slight inflection who was talking seamlessly without even a character to look at. Brilliantly done, and enough going on to play through it 3, 4, or 5 times while still seeing new stuff. Milk outside a bag outside of milk. This game gives me chills. I won't say much about it because it's very short, but the topics it goes into are very grounded, very real, very frightening from an outside viewer as someone who does not have such scathing mental illnesses. The visuals and music are beautiful, and add such a thick layer of darkness to what is already a dark short story. I recommend everyone check it out. It's very cheap, very short, could open your eyes to a perspective you've never seen before, or hit you in a very deep emotional level. No More Heroes Trilogy. I played all the No More Heroes games, and I can't believe I've lived so long without them. The passion, the style, the character, it's all so clear to me and mesmerizing. The first game is an almost perfect experience. It's so shitty in just the right ways to make it so funny and genuinely amazing. The second one doesn't hit as well, sadly, because it's lacking in a few places to make the flow of the game feel better. But it has a lot more spectacle in the moments that matter, so it stands well enough on its own, despite the flaws. Travis Strikes Again sucks. No More Heroes 3 though. combines all the strengths and elements of the previous games into a beautiful send-off for this franchise. The music, the gameplay, the art. I'm just really happy the devs were given the chance to make this game and go all out. Travis Touchdown is one of the greatest characters in fiction, and I will take no argument for this. Crow Country. Crow Country is a very cute game, inspired by Resident Evil. There's a beautiful art style, reminiscent of Final Fantasy VII, and a little bit of Tulip, but despite how charming it is, it can actually pull off being pretty scary. While it is just taking a lot of core elements of its inspiration, it does them really well. The controls feel great, there's a lot of puzzles, but they aren't too hard or nonsensical, the music is fantastic. The game even has the audacity to have a good story. Mouthwashing. Mouthwashing is one of those games that you don't hear anything about until it's already out, and all your friends are telling you it's one of the best games this year, and you're shocked to sit down, beat it in 2 hours, and go, damn, they weren't lying. Mouthwashing is a horrifying narrative about the lengths people will go to believe in their own head that they aren't at fault, or are in fact the victim, or perhaps even the hero of their story, despite what the world around them shows and tells them to their face. It is about the worst person you know, and what being in the worst possible situation with that person can do to you. It is also about mouthwash and purdies. Silent Hill 2 Remake. Silent Hill 2 is a very important game. The amount of influence it has on horror games is massive, and it holds up to this day in everything but its gameplay, which is a bit of a mess. When it was announced that Bloober Team, the company that's responsible for that Germa clip with the baby,
I can't even fucking imagine why you would have to do this.
And the absolute blunder of storytelling and messaging that is The Medium was going to remake Silent Hill 2, people were justifiably concerned. Well, to everyone's surprise, the game came out fantastic. The atmosphere, the characters, the music, the writing, to be able to recreate all the most important moments after 23 years is astounding. We don't make games like that anymore, so to see it brought to life as a game of today, and it works so well in almost every way. It only fails in one way, though it is a pretty serious problem. The game runs like shit. It just barely holds on to life at times. The frame rate starts falling down the stairs when you're going upstairs. The game will crash at least once for everyone that plays it. Even if you got the fucking PS7 built into your computer, it will struggle. It doesn't stop this from being one of my favorite experiences of the year though. Thank you for pulling everything you truly have, Bloober Team. If you get the chance to remake another one, aim for 4. That game needs it the most. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna try and keep this one short and sweet. See ya! Thank you for watching.